Hi guys, so today I wanted to create a video about where you can get stones if you don't want to buy them, in what state you can get them from, like say if you want to go rock hounding. So I just want to sage this space and welcome and invite you into this sacred talk space. And I compiled a list of different stones. I'm sorry I didn't have any good examples. I mean, most common states when you get things like stone-wise, you would think amethyst, calcite, quartz, and most of the time you just think of North Carolina, Vermont, maybe Virginia, Oregon, things like that, or places like that, excuse me. So I'm just gonna give back and say thank you for the messages and the wisdom that will be spoken in this video for you. So let's get started. So our first state, actually, a most common stone that you would not think is you can go to say if you live in Alabama, you can go and get hematite, which I thought was weird, but I just never thought hematite. I know that Arkansas, like, and this is, we'll get into that. So in Alabama, you can get hematite, you can get gypsum. They have salt mines, guys. You can get quartz, whether it be blue, yellow, well, golden. I think you can find rose quartz. I'm not sure. It never said that. You can find copper. There's copper mines, gold, graphite, iron ore, pyrite. Now, if you have rust-colored dirt, when you pull any of these minerals out, it means that you will find iron, because rust is, you know, oxified, or yeah, oxified, I can't talk today. Rust is oxified iron and pyrite. You can find talc, beryl, which is a lighter version or maybe a darker color of emerald, not necessarily green. You can find red. I think there's pink. So yeah, it's not just regular emerald like colors that you would see. And opal. So Alaska. So Alaska specifically, their state gem is specifically nephrite jade, and they pull a lot of this. You can find amethyst. You can find fluorite, gold, obviously, platinum, woolly mammoth fossils. Yeah, you can find those. Garnet, Arizona. So you can find wolfenite, which I think is one of their state stones after turquoise, maybe. Don't quote me. You can find sandstone. I have a couple pieces. So yes, Arizona, you can get sandstone, and this is sedonolite. Now, mind you, sedonolite is, it's not rare, but you have to have a permit to get this. So, and they're only allowed so much. So this is natural sedonolite. My boyfriend bought it for my mom a couple years ago for Christmas because she wanted that. So if you're not familiar with the Sedona vortexes that are down in Arizona, they are these vortexes supposedly that are just out in the middle of the desert, and these sandstone, Sedona, whatever rocks will amplify that vortex. So they are a very power intuitive, very portal-esque stone. So if you actually can purchase sedonolite, it's going to be kind of expensive. I think this one rock was like $20. So you have turquoise, obviously. You can get petrified wood. Now, if you find petrified wood, there's a chance that you will find opal. And there's a lot of different opals. I know, what was it, the other day there was a tree that they found from like 250 something million years ago that was absolutely opal, petrified wood, and it was a tree trunk that they had just cut down, and they found that, and I was just like amazed that it was just like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And it's on display, I think, in a museum. So I'm gonna see if I can I know, I should be still talking. Now, turquoise, there's many different types of turquoises. There's green, there's blue, there's yellow. Again, just be very wary about painted howlite or dyed howlite, which will commonly pass off as turquoise. So just be very mindful. I'm not saying, like I said in a past video, where you can tell the difference. If it's white, the paint scratches or the dye scratches, it's howlite. Now, howlite is great for insomnia, and it's a calming stone. So this is what I was talking about, if it would ever focus. Just look how beautiful that is. Okay, so we have agate, we can find diamond, topaz, quartz, chalcedony, peridot, malachite, and garnet. So you can find a lot of different things. Now, mind you, this is, I believe this is copper or iron. I'm not for sure. So this is one of these ores, or a metal ore. I think this is copper. And this is a low-grade version of real turquoise. So just be careful. And this looks like petrified wood, but it's not. If you've never seen petrified wood, this is petrified wood. This one in particular was given to me, and you can kind of see the mineral of quartz that's right there. This particular one was gifted to me from my grandparents after I cleaned out their garage. And I mean, my grandparents used to travel all the time, so I was very thankful growing up that I got to travel and go on road trips with them. So it really helped me expand my insights and how much I've traveled state-wise. Okay, so topaz, chalcedony, peridot, malachite, granite. So now we're talking about Arkansas. Now, Arkansas has one of 3 quartz beds that you can mine commercially in the world after Brazil and Madagascar. So if you're in Arkansas, go to the Crater of Diamonds State Park, and so you basically just pay a small fee, and you can go dig for diamonds, you can dig for quartz. Anything that you find under, like, I think, like 5 pounds or whatever, you actually get to keep. And if I'm not mistaken, if it's a good specimen, if you find a good diamond, you can sell it back to them, even though it's like, oh, okay. And I read that some people do that. So if you want to go to quartz, Mount Ida, and Jesseville are specific ones that you can find quartz, like great quartz beds. So yes, commercial quartz and diamond mining, for the public, you pay like a small fee. I think it's like $40 to $70, and you just go in and you go mine. And so a lot of times they will give you like tailing, like you can set up shop on their tailing piles, which means that it's piles of rubble, rock, dirt, whatever, that has already been mined, and it's just been thrown and piled up. So it's a lot of work, so make sure if you go rock hunting for that you wear appropriate clothing, because it's going to get hot. Depending on where you go, Arkansas is pretty hot. California. So there are a couple places in California you can do this. So you can get benitolite. I have no clue how to say that. Opal, tourmaline, kunzite, morganite, fire agate, rainbow quartz, rainbow obsidian. Now, if you've never seen a rainbow obsidian, unfortunately, I find it hard to find. It's pretty expensive, but it is absolutely beautiful. I would actually like to go down to California if I'm ever down there next time and get some, because I'm telling you, like a small piece at a couple of these mines or whatever is like $70 for a fee that you would just pay, you know? And it is absolutely gorgeous. So let me pull up. Now, rainbow obsidian might look like lepidite, and that's just merely because of the fact that the colors are pretty similar. So this is rainbow obsidian, and yes, this is actually real. And you can find this down in California. So in California, we have opal, tourmaline, kunzite, morganite, fire agate, quartz, rainbow obsidian. So you can get, there's 4 mines. There's the Davis Creek mine, and then you can get turquoise. I think there's like the Pink Lady claim. You can get gold down there, pyrite. Down in these mines, you basically just pay the fee and you bring your own equipment and you go from there. And I think it's under a 10 pound limit per person. So yeah, I'm like all over the place. Colorado, so you can get ammonite. Now ammonite, that's copper. Gosh, like there's just so much rocks around here. Copper. There's ammonite somewhere, and I actually put it in the bowl, so that's why. You can get obsidian, obviously. You can get red rock. Garnet, you can get topaz, you can actually get lapis. I thought that was crazy. Sometimes you can find turquoise depending on where it is. You can get quartz, specifically smoky. And I mean, it's around here somewhere. I'm telling you, there's just like everything is so out of place. There's smoky quartz somewhere. Oh, what the hell? Amethyst, you can get peridot, sapphire, zirconium, turquoise. You can get fossils. They actually have a fossil state park somewhere. Yeah, and you can get quartz. Not just smoky quartz, you can get white quartz. I think when I saw that, they can pull up a little bit of like pink quartz, which is not necessarily like rose quartz. So Connecticut, you can get garnet, at Roxbury Falls. You can get black tourmaline, you can get danburite, and danburite is actually named after a city in Connecticut, if anybody wanted to know that. You can get yellow beryl, rose quartz, aquamarine, Delaware, and Piedmont, so you can get Piedmont garnet, and that's actually a town in Piedmont. You can get fossils, you can get silicate, oh my god. It's not selenite. It's like sillimente. Bentonite, dorite, gabbro. You can get garnet basalts, serpentine. And shockingly enough, with the serpentine, Now, if you've never seen serpentine, it's something like this. Now, they have a like a rock ore, so it's not necessarily the stone that you're gonna get. It's more like a stone encased in rock, so it's not like a geode or anything like that. But it's a mineral of it that grows in this rock there, and it has a specific name. Florida, actually, you can get coral and agate, conch pearl, calcite, marine fossils. So down at Venice Beach in Florida, you can actually go in and pay like a conservation fee or like a fee or whatever, and you can go and look for fossilized shark teeth, and you can find just ancient shark teeth. So what was it? Ruck's Pit. Specifically, if you wanted mine wise, you can get Ruck's Pit, and you can get Moonstone and a couple other things. So Georgia. You can get amethyst, aventurine, beryl, black tourmaline, garnet, emerald, ruby quartz, rose quartz, topaz, sapphire gold, and a couple like mines that they have down there are the Crimson Gold Mine, Dudes Creek, and Jackson's Crossroad, Amethyst Mine, the Hog Mine, and Hawaii. You can get peridot. Now, peridot is a volcanic glass, and so I know that there is kind of a, specifically in Florida, you can get peridot, but it's actually kind of expensive to do so, and you have to actually ask for it. You can't just take it, and a lot of times people will get in trouble if they go visit volcanoes like Pele or a couple other active volcanoes, and they find this glass. You can actually get in trouble for picking that up without permission. So just be very mindful about what you're doing. Olivine, which is a type, kind of like peridot. It's a glass and a it's a huge thing. It's like one of the state's actual like official stones. The state mineral alone is called black coral, and actually olivine makes up a lot of the beaches, so it kind of looks like just green glass or white glass. So shockingly enough, if that's what you want, it's a volcanic glass, and it's very abundant upon its beaches. And so yeah, if you find that, you know, just make sure you have permission. Obsidian, you have quartz, calcite, opal. Now, opal is actually kind of on the rarer side there. You can get agate, you can get gold. I'm like losing my train of thought. So with opal in there, you would actually think it would be more abundant, but it's not. Now, the gold specifically, you have to have either a claim or you have to have permission to be on someone's claim or someone's land to prospect, or you basically pay the government a prospecting fee. So Idaho, if you live in Idaho like I do, you grew up hearing about star garnet. I actually do have a couple garnets laying around. You can find golds, pyrite. You can find smoky quartz. You can find a lot of things. Opal. You can find diamonds. Now, one in particular for opals is the Spencer Opal Mine, and it's like three hours away. So, I've never been personally, but I have gone to look at smoky quartz. I actually went camping, I think in 2016, around the 4th of July, and we went to a place called Dismal Swamps, and up at Trinity Lakes, which is up north in the mountains. And, just went there and dug in these, like, quartz piles. So, Idaho, this is what I was talking about. This is like smoky quartz fragments. that were found. Another thing is you can find geodes. So that was found, and this is also what was found. I actually went out with my mom as a kid and found these, and we used to just crack these open. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, garnet. So these are not Idaho star garnets specifically, but these are garnets that can be found. They're pretty abundant up in the mountains and things. Another thing is obsidian. Obsidian is very easy to find out here. So this is banded, or apart. This is banded obsidian. This was actually found out here. My mom found this. So that's a good tool. Illinois. So you can find your geodes. You can find fluorite, calcite, barite. You can find Mason Creek fossil, cave-in rocks, cave-in rocks. Oh my God, Cave-in Rock State Park. You can find pyrite. If you want to go find some of these things, you can go find obviously Mason Creek Fossils Park. Things like that. Indiana, you can find diamonds from Brown and Morgan County, and a lot of times you can find quartz, you can find calcite, you can find golds. So, and some of these mines for gold is like Lick Creek, Little Indiana, or Little Indian Creek, and you can find gold there. Iowa, you can find freshwater pearls, moss agate. I mean, it's somewhere around here. If you've never seen moss agate, you can find chalcedony. And they actually have something, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this wrong, so if you're from Iowa, I'm sorry, Keokuk geodes, and you can find those. I'm told that there's specifically a couple spots for those. Kansas, you can find galena. You can find a form of amber there, which is gelanite. I hope I said that. And you can find that there. Kentucky, you can find freshwater pearls. You can find agates, coal. Louisiana, you can find agate, pearl, leporelite. In Maine, you can find tourmaline. Whether that be black, I'm assuming you could probably find, if not, it might be like black tourmaline. You can probably find something like this in a couple states, not just in Maine, but I'm pretty sure you could find elsewhere. I think I remember reading that you can find this particular type of tourmaline, a double pointed. This is double pointed, obviously, a termulated. This in California. Maryland. You can find river agate, and there's like a specific name for this, and I didn't write that down. Massachusetts, you can find rhodonite and babingtonite. I have no clue what that is. Michigan, you can find fossilized coral. So this is fossilized coral, and to me this actually looks like cauliflower, like a head of cauliflower. But this is a fossilized coral. Another thing, I don't know where this comes from, but this is also fossilized coral. It's horned coral specifically. Yeah, so they have Isle Royale. So they have like Isle Royale, which is the state stone. Chloral strelite. I don't say that. I did not say that right. Minnesota, you can buy super Lake Superior agate. Mississippi, you can find petrified wood. Missouri, you can find galena. Montana, you can find sapphire, mountain agate. Nebraska, blue chalcedony, pyrite, you can find agate. Nevada, now Nevada is actually one of the largest producers of gold in the U.S. that they produce it or they mine it. So you can find gold, pyrite, silver, sandstone. They have something called Virgin Valley Black Opal, and you can find turquoise there. New Hampshire, beryl, granite, smoky quartz. New Mexico has a lot. You can find turquoise. Now, New York, you can find granite, garnet, Herkimer diamonds, dorolite, double tourmalated quartz. I'm assuming you probably find gold up in the mountains, depending on where you're at. North Carolina, you can find emerald, granite. In Ohio, didn't really give me much, but you can find a lot of flint. Oklahoma, you can find hourglass selenite, rose rock. And Oregon, if you remember in a previous video I did how to distinguish fake from real stones, there is geostone, and you can find green obsidian in Oregon. We have in Oregon, there's something called the Thunder Egg Agate, which honestly, it kind of to me looks like a geode. So you can find labradorite. And so with this, they have Oregon sunstone, you have green obsidian, you have orgonite and josephinite. In Rhode Island, you can find serpentine. Oh my god, serpentinite. Cumberlandite, bowentite. I have no clue how to pronounce some of these. There's just like, make it simple. South Carolina, you can find amethyst. So you can find something like this. It can be in a blue. You can find pink, purple, yellow. That technically has all three tones in it. Blue granite, quartz, like whether it's smoky or white. I think you can find a little bit of rose in there. South Dakota, you can find rose quartz, gold pyrite, Fairborn agate, and you have Black Hills gold. So if you've never been or heard of Black Hills is actually near adjacent to Mount Rushmore, and it's a little town, and beautiful enough. Black Hills gold is very durable. It's on the pricier side. Tennessee, you can find Tennessee freshwater pearl. You can find agates. You can find limestone. Texas. Now, Texas has a specific cut for gems. And that's called the Lone Star cut. For their gems. That's their official state cut. And it's basically a star within these different lines and cuts or whatever. And so you can find silver, you can find petrified wood, you can find glue, you can find blue top. Literally blue top something. I think it was either topaz or agate, one of the two. Utah. So you can find selenite, and one particular is St. George. For that St. George mine, whatever. You can find topaz, you can find amethyst, you can find ore, iron ore, you can find copper. So again, this is copper. Topaz, obviously. Vermont, you can find talc, granite, grossular, garnet. Virginia, you can find kyanite. Now, it didn't say whether it was blue or specifically black, but these are two versions of the same stone. So one has just kind of been smoothed out, and yes, you can actually find polished kyanite. It's just it goes through special process to make it smooth. and polished and things, but this is what it would look like in its natural form. Fairy stone, you can find feldspar. So feldspar is another form of this, is selenite. So selenite, this specific, like, this is satin. This is satin spar. But yes, you can find a version of that. And that's feldspar because of how it is. Feldspar is obviously satin spar, things like that. It's a very crumbly material, so just like keep in mind things like that do not go in water. Washington, you can find obsidian, petrified wood, you can find quartz. Again, this was found out north. This is not necessarily in Washington, but you can find that. You can find petrified wood, obsidian again. And then you have West Virginia, where you can find petrified wood. So, like I said, in some places you can find opal if there's water that has been retained in there. West Virginia is a huge producer of coal, fossils. Wisconsin, you can find galena, red granite, again, coal. Wyoming, you can find nephrite, jade, you can find opal. In North Dakota specifically, which I had to Google this and actually ask people what you can find there. And you can find petrified wood, you can find fossils, and they have something called like North Dakota Everglades. It's not like anything that you see in the Florida Keys or anything like that. It's basically prairie. Not prairie, but it's like meadow. It's just, it's beautiful. Google it. You can find flint. Now, I don't know where this comes from, but there are many different types of jade, and we're actually assuming this is purple jade. And to me, it looks purple, but it also looks blue. It has to be, we haven't cracked it open because we don't want to damage it, but this is what we're thinking a form of jade. And this was found. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this informative. And yes, most of these places in a state that you live in or what you're going to visit or where you are going to visit have places where you can rock hound, so you're not just buying into the industry if you want to mine yourself or basically dig for that. Just be very careful. Like, you are dealing with the earth element, and earth is always unpredictable.